Welcome to Bible Stories. In this episode, we follow Jesus' journey from Pilate's judgment to his burial. Let's witness his love, sacrifice, and victory. After questioning Jesus, Pilate found no guilt in him. But learning he was a Galilean, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at the time. Herod was eager to see Jesus perform a miracle. But Jesus remained silent. The chief priests and scribes stood by, accusing him fiercely. Herod and his soldiers mocked him, dressed him in a splendid robe, and sent him back to Pilate. That day, Herod and Pilate became friends, though they had been enemies before. Back before Pilate, the crowd gathered. Pilate asked, "Whom shall I release to you? Barabbas, a criminal, or Jesus, called the Messiah?" The chief priests stirred the crowd. "Give us Barabbas," they cried. "What then shall I do with Jesus?" They shouted louder, "Crucify him." Though Pilate knew Jesus was innocent, the pressure of the crowd was great. Pilate, seeing he was getting nowhere and that a riot was beginning, took water and washed his hands before the people. "I am innocent of this man's blood," he said. The crowd replied, "His blood be on us and on our children." Then Pilate released Barabbas to them and handed Jesus over to be crucified. Jesus was taken by Roman soldiers and brutally scourged, his flesh torn by whips. They twisted a crown of thorns and pressed it into his head. Mocking him, they placed a purple robe on his shoulders and knelt in false worship. "Hail, King of the Jews!" they spat, striking him with rods. Pilate brought Jesus out once more. "Behold the man," he said, but the crowd roared louder, "Crucify him." And so Pilate gave the order. Jesus carried his cross through the narrow streets of Jerusalem, stumbling under its weight. Women wept along the way. To one group he said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and your children." A man named Simon of Cyrene was forced to carry the cross behind him. At Golgotha, the place of the skull, the soldiers stripped Jesus of his garments. To fulfill prophecy, they cast lots for his clothing. Then they laid him down and nailed his hands and feet to the cross. They lifted the cross high between two criminals. One thief mocked, "Aren't you the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, "We are punished justly, but this man has done nothing wrong." Then he turned to Jesus and said, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus replied, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Below the cross, people passed by and hurled insults. He saved others, but he can't save himself. The chief priests and teachers of the law sneered. Even the soldiers mocked him, offering sour wine and saying, "If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself." Above his head was a sign, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." Seeing his mother, Jesus said, "Woman, behold your son," and to the disciple John, "Behold your mother." Darkness fell over the land from noon until 3. Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Later he said, "I thirst." A sponge soaked in sour wine was lifted to his lips. Finally he whispered, "It is finished." And with a loud cry, he gave up his spirit. At that moment the earth shook. Rocks split, tombs broke open, the curtain in the temple tore from top to bottom. Terrified, the Roman centurion exclaimed, "Surely this man was the Son of God." Since the Sabbath was near, soldiers came to break the legs of those crucified. Finding Jesus already dead, they pierced his side with a spear. Immediately blood and water flowed out. These things happened to fulfill Scripture. Not one of his bones will be broken, and they will look on him whom they pierced. As evening approached, Joseph of Arimathea, a member of the council and follower of Jesus, asked Pilate for the body. With Pilate's permission, he and Nicodemus wrapped Jesus in linen cloth with spices, according to Jewish burial customs. They placed him in a new tomb carved in rock, where no one had ever been laid. A large stone was rolled in front of the entrance, and the women who had followed him watched from a distance. Thank you for watching this journey through the final hours of Jesus' earthly life. His suffering was great, but his love was greater. We hope this story brings you closer to the truth of the gospel and the heart of Christ. If this blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. And please subscribe for more inspiring Bible stories. God bless you.